calling the Office for Alumni Relations at GW. So we cannot provide any contact information from or of another alum. You can try to check our alumni directory. Technically speaking, if a person has approximately 15 credits or more, we should still have them in the system. But unfortunately, we cannot pass out that information without the person's expressed permission to do so.
What would you do if your best friend suddenly disappeared? This was the case at the George Washington University, where a 19-year-old international student vanished after his freshman year in 2016. What he left behind were dead social media accounts and a group of friends who are still hoping for his return. This is the missing case of Edward Zlatarev.
The great filmmaker Werner Herzog described two truths, the accountant's truth and the ecstatic truth. And Ed was an embodiment of the ecstatic truth.
Eccentric, a wild card.
Definitely a bit of an odd guy at times, but man, he was a character.
He was pretty relaxed, even keel, but you would have a conversation with him and next thing you know, he's talking about outer space and going to outer space. But he's completely serious.
And so he embodied the ecstatic truth because even though you didn't doubt what he was saying, it was much more vibrant than anything else anyone else would experience.
Ed and I were tight. He was one of my closest friends freshman year at GW.
I was dating Matt at the time, and him, Tad, and Ed were the three best buddies.
But he and I were supposed to room with each other sophomore year of college, and I remember going to look at something on the housing portal, and it popped up and said my roommate was some random dude. And so that's when questions started getting asked. People started wondering, where is this guy? And I think that was kind of the beginning of the end.
This is not the same thing as what people would say is being ghosted. It's not the same thing as being ghosted, because Ed was a very close friend. We talked to him probably every single day.
And Ed had me at his dad on LinkedIn, and his dad is still posting, but Ed's LinkedIn still says he's a freshman.
We tried calling his dad, and we never really got any answers.
He would not be straightforward about what Ed was doing, where Ed was, how he was doing.
And this, to the best of my memory, is what Ed's father said. And the last thing he said was, Ed will be in touch with you shortly, and I'll let him explain what happened. That didn't happen, so we still don't know.
And then we called the landline. I think we talked to his mom or something, and she didn't really say anything. We're like, is this guy even alive anymore? Because we talked to all these people around him, but we never could actually talk to him for some reason.
In addition to considering more extreme options, like a private investigator, we were also considering taking the trip to Connecticut, which is the state of Ed, and checking in on him ourselves, because we were also concerned.
They were talking about it, they're like, we're going to go to Ed, literally showing me his house on Google Maps.
But we didn't want to pry too much, and we definitely didn't want to show up at their house.
Might have been Matt's mom who said maybe he doesn't want to be found.
So my theory, and I think the main theory, is that he ran into academic problems. The way he lived was almost the way a rock star would live. And you think, oh, that sounds pretty fun, until you realize we're at a university. We need to be studying. And he would sleep like a koala. Sometimes his nights were days, and his days were nights. And he would sleep during the day. We don't know how many classes he missed, but we do suspect that he missed many classes. One of the last things I heard from him in person was after our spring semester finals, and he took an IA final, International Affairs final. We were asking him, what was the prompt? And he said, I didn't focus on the prompt, so I just wrote what I wanted to. That is the evidence I have that he wasn't a star student. And that may have actually led to him disappearing.
You reached the voicemail box of Edward Zlatarev. I'm sorry I'm unable to take your call right now, but I'll call you back as soon as I can. Thank you.